Analyzing the Ring of Honor wrestling roster. Alexis Carrillo here, back with some more wrestling talk content on the Alexis Carrillo brand YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any wrestling talk content in the future. And we've gotten to the finale, if you could put it that way, of the analysis of each of the major wrestling rosters in North American professional wrestling. We analyzed Raw, we analyzed SmackDown Live, Impact Wrestling, NXT. We analyzed, now it's time to analyze Ring of Honor Wrestling, the perennial number 3 wrestling company in North America. Obviously, filled with hardcore fans, filled with hardcore Honor Club members. So, without further ado, let's get right into the Ring of Honor analysis. And you know my categories. We've got the tag teams, we've got the lower mid-card, we've got the mid-card, the upper mid-card, and the main event for the men. And we've got the mid-card and the main event for the Women of Honor. So let's get started. Let's get right into the tag teams. And just gotta point out, just gotta say, Ring of Honor is rich in terms of tag teams. They are rich in terms of talent in their tag team division. I mean, they've got the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. They've got the team of Beer City Bruiser and Brian Melonas. They've got the team of Best Friends, Beretta and Chucky T. They've got the boys, Boy 1 and Boy 2. They've got the Addiction, Christopher Daniels and Kazarian, formerly known as Bad Influence. Then we've got the team of the Dogs, Red Titus and Will Ferrara. You got the Bucks, Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson. You've got them boys, the Briscoes, Jay and Mark Briscoe. So obviously, in terms of tag teams, Ring of Honor is not lacking in that department. And obviously, you watch any episode of Ring of Honor Wrestling, you watch any pay-per-view of Ring of Honor Wrestling, and you know, the highlights of the nights are most likely going to be their tag teams. Heading into the lower mid-card, like I said, like I mentioned in the analysis of the NXT roster, not very familiar with these particular men because, like I said, both Ring of Honor and NXT only have 1 hour of television a week. They have a limited amount of pay-per-views a year, and so these men kind of get the short end of the stick in terms of, you know, appearances on actual television. I'm talking about BJ Whitmer, I'm talking about Caprice Coleman, Cheeseburger, Delirious, Joey Dadiego, TK O'Ryan, and Vinny Marchega. Haven't seen much of them on Ring of Honor television. Have seen a little bit more of Caprice Coleman, and in terms of Cheeseburger, I catch him more on New Japan Pro Wrestling TV than I do on Ring of Honor TV. Going into the mid-card, we've got the man himself, Flip Gordon. That's right, this man has impressed me ever since I first saw him on my TV set. Ring of Honor Wrestling has a star, a bona fide star that they can build their TV title around for the next, a year, 2 years in Flip Gordon. He is entertaining. His theme, if you didn't notice, is very catchy, and I see big things in the future for him. We've got Jonathan Gresham, very talented, very technical wrestler. We've got Josh the Good Woods. We've got Kenny K-I-N-G King, former Ring of Honor TV champion. You know, this man in the ring, he's entertaining. He's amazing in the ring. He's amazing on the mic. He just is filled with charisma, and damn, can that man work the stick. So obviously, Kenny K-I-N-G King won't be in Ring of Honor's mid-card for much longer. I think he has potential to be, one day, Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. Then we've got LSG, and we've got Punishment Martinez. I know there's a lot of fans into Punishment Martinez because of his height, because of his presence, because of his look. I just see him as a poor man's Baron Corbin. And if you know, and if you've heard or listened to any of my thoughts about Baron Corbin, not a big fan of him. So obviously, not a big fan of Punishment Martinez. Sorry, that's just my take. Then we got Scorpio Sky, Shane Taylor, and the Rio Man, the last Rio Man, Silas Young. Definite brawler, definite candidate to be in the main event in the very near future. And gotta say, just like NXT, you know, you look at Ring of Honor's upper mid card and the main event. You look at the talent that they have amalgamated over the years in those positions, and you just gotta clap. You just gotta give them a standing ovation, because if you look at the Ring of Honor's upper mid card, we've got Will Ospreay, who appears more on New Japan Pro Wrestling programming, but when he appears on Ring of Honor, he is definitely the highlight of the night. We've got the leader of the kingdom, Matt Taven. We've got the villain himself, woot woot, Marty Scurll. Hopefully he achieves his real potential and becomes world champion one day. We've got Sling Blade, I think Sling Blade, Switchblade, not sure what they call him. We've got Jay White, dethroned Kenny Omega for the New Japan Pro Wrestling United States Championship. We've got the Hangman himself, Adam Page. All of these men with the potential to have a world title run in the future. And like I said, like I mentioned in the past videos, those superstars who are in the upper mid-card, they are one big win, one big push away from getting into the main event and getting into the world title contention area of professional wrestling. Then we've got the main event of Ring of Honor. Now, very tricky here, because, you know, I've included men like Jay White, like Will Ospreay, like Cheeseburger. These men that appear more on New Japan Pro Wrestling lately than they do on Ring of Honor. So obviously, in the main event of Ring of Honor, even though he doesn't really appear as much as he should, we've got the cleaner himself, Kenny Omega. Obvious main event talent, but obviously his sights are set on New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I believe he will one day be IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Then we've got the franchise of Ring of Honor himself, the face of the place, the man that runs the brand, Jay Lethal. What a career it has been for Jay Lethal. Obviously, big fan of this man ever since his Impact Wrestling days. Now in Ring of Honor, he was, I believe, the first dual champion, world champion, TV champion. So obviously, they can easily put him back in that high spot anytime because Jay Lethal brings it. We've got Cody, the self-proclaimed leader of Bullet Club. Cody, the American Nightmare. Cody, you know, this man has really flourished into a main event talent. He has really flourished and turned into an independent wrestling darling, which is very rare considering that he was first and foremost a WWE talent. But now, everyone's a fan of Cody. Not surprised at all in that aspect. And then we've got the Peacock himself. Very outspoken, very outgoing. Dalton Castle, the world champion himself. You know, Dalton Castle's entertaining. And, you know, you look at him on TV, you look at him in his promos and in the ring, and you compare him to men like Cody, like Jay Lethal, like Kenny Omega, like Adam Hangman Page, and you might think, oh, he's just world champion because, you know, of a fluke. But then you see Dalton Castle in the ring, and you realize why he is the world champion in Ring of Honor, why they pushed him into that space, and he has really held it up quite nicely. And now going into the women division of Ring of Honor, they just brought in the Women of Honor Championship. Proud of Ring of Honor for taking that big step. It took them 16 years to finally get a women's championship on their show, on their brand. Kudos to them for doing so. But again, not very familiar with the woman because, like I said, 1 hour of TV. There's only so much you can put on TV at a time. Some of these women will not get highlighted as much. So we got Stella Gray, Jessie Brooks, Jenny Rose, Karen Q, Gabby Ortiz, and Brandy Rhodes in the mid-card of the women's division. Yes, Brandy Rhodes in the mid-card. Why? Because even though she's a big name, in the women's division, even though she's a recognizable name, she has yet to build a pedigree, and she has yet to show us wrestling fans any amount of real wrestling talent. So that's why I put her there. I believe she's working really hard into getting into that high level of talent that she needs to be in. But right now, she is still a few moments, a few months, a few matches, a few years away from getting to that level. And then we've got the women's main event. We've got Deonna Purrazzo, we've got Kelly Klein, we've got Mandy Leon, I think. We've got the former Emma, now Tennille Dashwood. I think she's a future Women of Honor champion. And speaking of the Women of Honor champion, we've got Sumi Sakai, surprised at Supercard of Honor when she won the Women of Honor championship, when she became the first Ring of Honor champion. But hey, she's talented, she's a hell of a wrestler. But like I said, I believe Tennille Dashwood will be the woman to dethrone Sumi Sakai and become the second Women of Honor champion. So anyway, that's my analysis of the Ring of Honor wrestling roster. Leave your comments, leave your opinions. Do you agree with how I divided each talent? Do you agree with where I put each talent in terms of the subcategories? If you don't agree, leave a comment below. Let me know if I made a mistake, if I, misread some of these superstars, because like I said, with NXT and Ring of Honor, not very familiarized with those products just yet. Just wanted to give my overall thoughts. So, leave a comment below, obviously, subscribe to the channel, and that's it for me. Till next time.